I guess what we found with the double-handed sailing in its current state was that there was a lot of inconsistencies in coaching practices, in techniques, in maneuvers. There was a huge emphasis put on the skipper, and not a lot of attention given to the crew position and its importance of all maneuvers in the boat. So again, it was just sort of a continuation of single-handed sailing, and there was this person in the front of the boat. The other issues were we called them the party tricks, is how they were treated more than incorporating them into other existing maneuvers with spinnaker, trapeze, backward sailing, rudderless sailing, those sorts of things. Is it a sort of a disconnect between all of the basic maneuvers, tacking, jiving, heading up, bearing off, all of that sort of stuff, planing, surfing, etc., and there was this disconnect, and it was like you did this sort of stuff without incorporating that into existing sailing maneuvers and skills. The other thing that was really interesting to look at in the previous, before the double-handed manual and developing and moving forward, was that there was not a really good understanding of how double-handed boats worked as far as sail theory, sail plans, rig tuning, sail tuning, things like that. A lot of the information that was out there was antiquated, and there's been a lot of modernization as far as the understanding of that theory. So just how those two sails work together, put a spinnaker in that situation, and how all three sails work together, and then how the rig works. I think that's something that was kind of lost on a lot of people.
So basically we decided that we needed a tool to help update our double-handed coaching in Canada. First it started with just our own club here at Royal Vic. We found that lots of our coaches were still teaching double-handed sailing a la Laser 2, which doesn't really work with the 420 and with a lot of other double-handed boats. So we, fortunately, Eric and Vanderpool and I were lucky enough to go to Europe for a couple of years and do some 470 sailing, and we're very humbled being little Canadians, and had the opportunity to see some of the best double-handed sailing going on now, and we learned a lot, and we wrote it all down and videotaped it, and we came home and we said, well, why don't we share this information with our coaches? And so we started this little manual. It was a list, really, and then it kind of, everybody thought it was cool, so BC started using it, and then a bunch of other people started emailing us and saying, hey, can we use that too? And then our project kind of grew to what it is now. And it's our hope that we can bring the skills and the knowledge that we were exposed to the rest of the coaches in the country, so that they can all benefit from what we learned. And it's I think it's an exciting opportunity to move forward as a country and get on more of a level playing field with everybody else. So the way that this manual fits within the new CanSail stream is it's actually a very flexible tool, and basically anybody who is going to be dealing with a double-handed boat has a use for this manual, because it covers things like teamwork, communication, the role of the jib in the sail plan, as well as more advanced concepts such as spinnaker, trapeze, rig tuning. So it's a tool that can help really novice double-handed teams right up to people who are learning complex tuning skills, and it's just sort of all that information in one spot. So if you're a coach who's teaching a can sail fast, it can be useful. If you're a coach who's teaching chutes and wires, it can be useful. So it's got a really a nice place within the can sail system. And of course, if you're coaching a race team and you've got some 420 sailors, or even if you've got anybody who's going to be using a double-handed boat, there is an application for them